Lightning McQueen with Shovel is back for 2025, and let me tell you guys, I am super excited to see him again. This is a McQueen that's only been out in two separate years before this one. He was first released in 2010 as part of the Final Lap collection, and he came out again several years later in 2017 in the regular old mainline, the pre-Cars 3 mainline. He was also out in a Radiator Springs Classic 3-pack that year as well. So, not the easiest McQueen to get your hands on. He's not a super rare one, but he's one that doesn't come out all that often, considering, again, he's only ever been released in two different years there. This is a pretty notable McQueen in the movie, after he does a pretty rushed job of making the road. Of course, he's forced to scrape it all up with a shovel, and yeah, this is a pretty notable McQueen diecast that's been missing from my collection, and I'm sure a lot of you guys might be missing him as well, since he's not the easiest one to get your hands on. Yeah, not a super expensive item online, but just one that isn't released too frequently. So I'm really happy to have found his 2025 re-release so I could finally add this card to my collection. And let me tell you guys, he looks great. This is a fantastic looking item. Honestly, for a Thailand variant, he looks pretty spot on, almost identical to the original in terms of the expression and how they adapted him. I think a part of that might be because both his original diecast and now this new Thailand one use eye plates. But yeah, he's really, really accurate to the original. If you could put a picture on screen there so you guys can see. Really great adaptation of this item. He looks amazing, and Thailand always does such a great job with dirt and grime detailing. He's looking really good. There is just one issue, which we'll get to in just a minute. Anyway, guys, welcome back to another review and to another 2025 Cars Diecast review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Lightning McQueen with Shovel, one of this year's many really solid re-releases. I'm so excited to finally add this item to my collection. Absolutely love the artwork here. It's honestly kind of a strange looking one. He has this kind of dark shading on him that he's always had since his original release, which I think they did since this McQueen only shows up in a scene at night. It looked much better in his previous releases, which both had kind of dark backgrounds, the dark blue of the Final Lap collection card back and the Radiator Springs at night image on the 2017 Radiator Springs card back. Here, you can kind of tell that he has this sort of dark shading on him, and it doesn't look as good. It looks kind of out of place. You can definitely see that sort of bluish hue over him. But man, it's good to see him back, guys. This is a McQueen that I've not seen in stores as a single. Although I will say I do remember seeing his 3-pack at Toys R Us quite often back in 2017. I didn't pick it up because at the time I wasn't buying multi-packs just to get items I didn't have. I really wasn't buying full multi-packs just for one card back then. That's something I do now, but back when I was starting off my channel, I was a bit more selective with what I picked up. This is a pretty rare case of an item using that Radiator Springs background. I always forget that the current card back style has the two different backgrounds, the regular one and the stadium one, because, like, nobody uses the Radiator Springs background. It's barely ever used on characters. Now, something that I do have to note, which I hinted at before, is that there's something pretty notable about this McQueen that I have to point out, that being the color of the shovel. For those of you who don't know, this color, the gray color we see on the shovel, both here on the diecast and on the artwork, is actually not accurate to the movie. In the movie, the shovel McQueen has is yellow, and for whatever reason, when they made the diecast back in 2010, they made the shovel gray. And also made the shovel on the artwork gray. I can't believe this. We have been gaslit. How could you, Mattel? It's such a weird situation, isn't it? Like, I don't know why the shovel is the wrong color. I really doubt we'll ever know. I assume they probably based it off of some sort of artwork of some kind. I'd say maybe they based it on concept art. I don't know why they'd be basing it on concept art when it came out in 2010, 4 years after the first Cars movie. I have no explanation for this, guys, but I find it really funny that not only did the shovel end up the wrong color, they also made artwork that had the shovel be the wrong color so that it would match. It's like Chief RPM sort of craziness where they altered the artwork to make it match the accuracy on the diecast. It's so strange, and a lot of people, myself included, were really hoping that this item's Thailand re-release would have a corrected shovel color. I know a lot of people were hoping that. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Thailand does a good job oftentimes at fixing previous errors. But unfortunately, this time they didn't. So we're still stuck with the same old shovel color. It doesn't bother me all that much. Honestly, I think I kind of like this coloring better than a bright yellow shovel, but whatever. On the back, we've got As Seen in Cars with Daryl Cartrip, Mario Andretti, Dexter Hoover, Christina Wheeland, Pit Crew Sarge, and Lightning Ramon. I've reviewed all these guys in the past at some point on the channel. Recently picked up Pit Crew Sarge, and I'll be reviewing the 2025 Lightning Ramon very, very soon. The update for him from this year. It's actually right off to my side. It's literally just out of reach. So I'd bring it in. Oh, no! I can't show it to you guys. It's literally right out of my reach. So let's get McQueen with shovel out of the package here and take a closer look at him. All right. You know, I organized my cars by like screen time, roughly how much screen time they have in the movie, and I gotta say, I am not sure where this guy's gonna go, because I feel like he's in it quite a bit. All right, so there is McQueen with shovel out of the packaging, and something I'm interested to know is the mold. For those of you who don't know, a few previous like McQueens that have kind of accessories on them from Thailand have, for some reason, used a slightly different mold than the original. I don't know why this is a thing that happens, but I'm sure many of you remember Tumbleweed McQueen. Here's the original made in China Tumbleweed McQueen. Then when Thailand did him, he used a different mold for some reason, as you can see. A lot of people were bothered by this. I didn't really mind. It was just strange to me that this happened. Same thing happened a few years later when McQueen with Cone came back in 2021. And I was wondering if they do this for McQueen with shovel as well. I was kind of concerned that that mistake would happen again. And it looks like it didn't. I feel like the mold maybe looks a little different with like the spoiler. The spoiler looks like it's at a slightly different angle. But I don't know. It looks pretty much fine to me. Yeah, shaping does look a little tiny bit different, but I think that's just because it is molded differently. It's molded to fit the shovel here, and the mouth is a bit different. I think it's still a pretty on-point McQueen. Yeah, you could just see he looks a little different because he is raised off the ground a bit. I think he looks pretty good. I think he does look pretty good. So yeah, there's just a mold comparison. It looks like some slight differences, but again, I think that mostly comes from this item being a bit more raised off the ground, because he's got to be raised off the ground so that you can fit that shovel underneath. There's your comparison. You can see, yeah, he's a bit higher off the ground, so that he could still roll with that shovel. And that shovel doesn't even... Is the shovel scraping the ground? No, not really. There's a little bit of leeway there. Wow. Okay, yeah, this is pretty well designed. Very impressive. Absolutely love this facial expression here. This is so 2010's Cars Diecast line. Right when they were starting to do more sort of exaggerated, screen-accurate expressions. It looks really, really solid. Love this face, perfectly on point for the scene, the moment we're capturing. Not only do you have this great, unique eye expression, you also have this great, unique mouth expression that come together perfectly. We have a lot of sort of black splotches all over McQueen. Should he have the tar on him? I'm not 100% sure. But doesn't he have the tar on him at this point in the movie, or did that not happen yet? We just had Tar McQueen out for comparison. I'm not 100% sure. We have the same dirt detailing, very similar to what we've seen on other McQueens, like Road Repair McQueen. I always say Thailand does weathering so well on diecast. It looks really great here. You could see he's absolutely caked in asphalt. It looks really, really solid. Look at that. It looks like I just came by and sprinkled Oreos all over it. We've had a few cars with kind of weird asphalt detailing on them recently. Jessica Carville comes to mind. She had that in very strange and inconsistent ways. And this McQueen looks really, really great in that area. That's also on the shovel itself. It almost looks like there are letters on it. It almost looks like it says XXL. When I got this, my mom was like, why is there writing on the shovel? And I was like, no, that's not writing. That's just an overspray. That's just like dirt detailing. I'm sorry if you can't unsee that now. As you can see, it is on this little sort of soft plastic. This whole thing is a rather soft plastic. So it could bend and warp Just a warning. Probably won't snap off because it is a soft plastic instead of a hard plastic, but just be careful with it as you would any car's accessory. You do have a little bit of flexibility, which I think is nice if you want to like ram it against a wall. You know, it's not going to be like broken. You may have to push it back into shape. Speaking of pushing, I do want to see, like, I know he's pushing up the road in the movie, but can we just like, yeah, we can successfully ferry other cars around. Great. Look at how snug another McQueen fits there. McQueen train, go! Not bad. Not bad, McQueen with shovel. Not bad. Moving on to the side, we have all the details you would expect to see on a McQueen. All your typical piston cup secondary sponsors, Nitrate, piston cup, Vitaline, mood springs, octane gain, no stall. Wait, that's not Vitaline. That's Vitaline. That's revolting up there. Sorry. No stall, Vitaline, gas burn, gaskets, easy out of low torquey pistons, RPM, leak less. Looks like retread and clutch aid down there. And of course, more of this sort of dirty detailing. Look at that. That looks so good. We also have that all over the wheels, which I absolutely love. Not only on the inner wheel, but also on the tire. It is not often we get weathering detail on the tires. And that, once again, looks so good. All of this soot all over him really turned out great. Thailand knocking it out of the park, as per usual, with that detailing. Carrying over to the back, even covering up some of the letters on his rookie stripe, where it says Rusty's medicated bumper ointment. There's a look at the other side, which I assume is going to have some, at least slightly different patterns. Yeah, different patterns there. Always good to see when a car is supposed to have sort of nature elements on there. And there you have it, guys. In case you're wondering, this McQueen doesn't have the little divots for Mater to tow him, which makes perfect sense. He's got a huge shovel apparatus on the front. This is one good-looking McQueen. It's not a personal favorite of mine. It never was, really. But now that I have it in hand, I can see it looks really, really great, really film accurate. It's a really solid item, and I'm so happy to see it back. Now re-release Muddy McQueen, you cowards. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this item in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.